Hello everyone and welcome to this thing, Devouring Dark, session unknown. So last time, the group was exploring an underground place near the city of Aquinball, and they had fun doing so, I guess. They found a labyrinth, and they did the labyrinth, fighting various stone statues, and they got past that with some effort, along with a random chance event that went in their favor. Otherwise, they may not have gotten out of that situation very well. And they continued down deeper into the depths, and with that, they found the entrance to the dungeon, or at least what they assume is a dungeon of some sort. And they wanted to rest for a bit, so as they were trying to find a place to rest, they found a little creature. And they tried to save said little creature, which resulted in some sort of ancient curse thing being activated. And Zarascon got frustrated because they didn't know what was happening and got him out of the puzzle. And instead, Lily was the one who solved the puzzle. So that happened, but Zarascon fell asleep, and when they rescued said person, turns out that he said that the last year he remembers was approximately 5,000 years ago. So that's what he remembers, and he doesn't remember what his name was or anything. So they nicknamed him Zarascon. Erosan.
Yeah.
So the creature who is now with you guys is referred to as a marrow. Underwater creature that is very similar to mermaids and things of that nature. Merfolk, I suppose they're called. But either way, you guys are now there in this side storage room, and you guys have completed a long rest. So, long rest complete. So regain all your stuff that is necessary for that.
Long rest complete, I get everything back.
So does everybody else. So
they should get everything back.
Everybody else should, yes.
So they named the marrow Erosan.
We didn't name him. He just... Actually, yeah, we did.
No, he just so happened to be named Erosan.
Erosan the second.
So, Zarascon, you wake up a substantial amount of time before they do, due to the fact that they were interacting with said creature. So, you wake up, and there's a weird fish thing sleeping in the corner, and the rest of your companions are also there.
So we don't kill this thing?
You wake up, and everybody else is asleep, including this fish thing.
So you can try and kill it if you want.
I certainly can, but should I?
That's for you to decide. Unless if you want to wake them up.
No, fuck you. I need my long rest. I need my beauty sleep.
He needs all the beauty sleep he can get.
I mean, look at me.
I'm literally asking them to see if they will
Well, they're not awake.
know what the hell I should do with it.
They're not awake. So what
Murder
should you
it.
do?
No. Murder it is not.
You can attempt to identify the creature. That might help your character make a decision.
Sure, why the hell not?
That would be nature.
Something I am not too good at. Dear God, help me now. 14! Decent.
Hey, that's
Yeah,
pretty good.
you've seen creatures that look similar to this, and when they're not covered in shadow, they're usually killing people.
Huge. So everybody's asleep. Except
Yup.
for me.
You're awake. And the creature also appears to be asleep.
So I'm just watching the creature holding out my great sword. Is there any other light source beside? Well,
No.
okay, ignite.
Alright.
Because I will see.
Yeah, you do see the creature.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, I have goggles of night, that's true. I don't need that to see. Totally forgot about those.
Well, you might want to remember what items you have that are helpful to you. So, you have a semblance of dark vision, which, unless if the item specifies you see in color, you do not.
Yep. I just see in black and white, but it's nice to see in color, so ignite my greatsword and just be there waiting like they didn't go to sleep at the same time as me. Well, okay then.
Yeah, and you see the creature. You didn't see that creature when you went to sleep.
They are clearly not bleeding, so he didn't murder them. That's a good thing. I'm not bleeding. That's also a good thing.
Well, you woke up somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Unless this is some weird vision.
Just pinch myself to see.
Well, visions don't always work that way, but you try and nothing happens.
Well, I'm getting awake.
Okay, so what do you do?
Just wait and watch everyone.
Alright. Everybody else wakes up at around the same time, due to the mechanics of how resting works in this world.
So,
Good morning.
so who unlocked the door or thing, Bob? And why is
This
that thing here?
Aerosol. He's a great guy.
From what I heard, he isn't a fish guy.
You actually
Yeah.
saw Aero-san.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
this
from what I
is
remember-
Aero-san.
yeah. From what I remember, that isn't Erozan.
Oh, he's a new guy, but his name is Arosan.
You know, you can't give the same person the same name that you from someone you know, right?
Yes, I can.
Yes, you can.
But sure, what? Yeah,
I mean,
sure, what? They call.
I know like 20 people who have my name, or at least my first
I
name.
know.
So, yes, you can.
Yes, but sure, be lazy with naming things, or beings, or things that can murder you in your sleep.
Or, like, hug me.
No, those things kill. I've seen it myself. When they weren't covered in shadow, they kill.
Yeah, but
But
they
it's-
also usually have giant, like, tridents that they throw at people.
Yeah, that thing reminds me of the thing that I saw in the maze as well.
But
It's
I like-
similar, but not the same.
Either way, we
saved
should.
him He's almost my bestie.
Either way, we need to get moving again.
Okay. I start stretching.
It starts to wake up.
I start stretching, like, to tell him, like, I'm moving.
Okay. Yeah, the weird marrow creature, which it has like a humanoid body parts to it, but it's also very mermaid-esque or merfolk-esque. So, but it's not. Merfolk usually have more human-esque features than this thing has. So it begins to wake up. If you guys wish to do anything.
Good morning, or some, like, stupid song, like some stupid kid song about morning time.
Good morning. Okay, that happens. Anything else, Sarascon? You see it moving?
Just keeping a close eye on it.
Okay, it gets up and starts moving. And it goes, okay, are we moving now? We're leaving.
Are we leaving? Is that what he said?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, I don't know. What are you doing?
Waking up.
Waking up. Okay, cool.
Explo, you're awake, by the way. If you want to do anything.
Well, I guess we'll get into the prison. Or whatever the hell this place is.
Alright.
So since I'm the smallest one, I guess I'll reach in and flick the little switch.
Alright. Explo was not paying attention to anything that was currently happening. He was just like, oh, okay, I'm awake, let's leave. So he just flicks his...
trying to help Olaf turn it, get his computer to work.
Well, good luck. I don't know. Tell him to send you plenty of photographs, so that way you can see what's going on.
He sent me one.
Tell him to send you more. That's all I can tell you.
Did you tell him to turn it on and off again?
That's probably what he's been doing.
Okay, so Explo flicks the switch. The little tiny switch in the middle of the room, and the door opens.
Well, that's mighty convenient.
Our savior.
Easy.
Explo isn't one to be defeated by a door.
Yeah. Oh, that room. Now I recall again. My mind was drawing a blank on it for a second. But yeah, where is the tiny being that we tried to help?
The marrow walks forward. Here I am.
We found you! You found us!
Okay.
Saved! By glory.
I remember specifically Lily kicking me out from trying to help it.
Wait, I didn't kick you out. I escorted you.
Yeah, you kicked me out with the spell magic.
But hug? Oh, that thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Not on purpose. Maybe on purpose.
Well,
I'm sure it was fine.
Zuri, I don't know what I'm doing most of the time.
Sounds accurate. So, you guys exit the room. You are now in the small hallway that I indicated before. You are currently on the Marrow's drawn map, because he drew a map. You guys are currently here. Oh, I better shift click. There you go. Right there. On that little square. And for Geo's sake, since he wasn't here when I drew the map, that's the labyrinth. This thing here.
And we are in this tiny room here, I assume.
Yeah, so this is the way that you guys came down.
Mm-hmm.
And then you went here to the labyrinth. And then you went here to the way down where the bear fell. And this is the bottom of that. And this is the storage room you're currently in.
Okay.
And this is where you're trying to go.
Where we're being blocked by the almighty door.
Yep.
I'm guessing it's locked.
You walk up to the door, you don't see any mechanism in which to open it.
What's the door made of?
Some sort of metal. You can tell that just by looking at it.
Yeah, I can't cannonball through that one. Like a wooden door.
You could try, but...
I certainly could try, but it would certainly hurt more than I would succeed.
No opening mechanism, no handles, no locks, nothing?
Not that you can see, no.
Is there even hinges on the damn thing?
I'll get you to make an investigation check, see what you find. Okay, yes, there are hinges on it, but they're on both sides of the door.
So we don't know which way that... Oh, so the door swings like one of the kitchen doors, like in and out?
It's on
like
both...
a cowboy movie?
It's on both the left and the right.
Yeah, so like a cowboy movie door.
Wait.
You're not sure if that's how it works, but it just appears to be a solid metal door. It doesn't appear to have two sides.
With hinges.
Two-way swinger.
Yeah, you're not sure if that's how it works, but you see hinges on both sides.
Well, this
I'm gonna use something that you allowed me to make, but I haven't used it yet.
Hold. Let's
what?
See. I'm gonna push and then try to pull to see if it opens either way.
Alright, I'll get you to make an investigation of the door.
I'm trying to push and pull on it currently to see if it opens.
Yes, but the roll will determine what you discover.
12.
It doesn't budge. Either direction.
Okay. Is there like it's a double door? Okay. I think. Okay. Could I stick my greatsword between the door and then try to see if something is like barricading it or holding it closed or anything?
You could. There's only one section of the door that has the ability to stick anything through, and it's about 10 feet up. But you can still do that if you want to do that.
Yeah, I can reach that because 7 feet 6. I guess my arms would reach that high.
Yeah, you can try to stick the sword through the door if you want.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna risk my sword for that.
Okay, you can stick whatever it is you wish to use as an implement.
Better idea. I grab Explo and hold him up to the, openings, slots, whatever.
Okay.
But there's big enough openings to me to get through on the top?
No, to see what it is. Cause I can
there's
see
like
what it
bars
is.
on the door.
Oh, so I can see inside of the door now? Through
He's
the bars?
lifting you up high enough. Yes, you can attempt to see what's inside if you wish. Which would make a you need to make a perception check to see what you see.
Perceive it.
I'm a tall guy, so I can just grab you and lift you up.
Alright. On the other side of the door, you see very little, actually. You see what looks like a wall on the left and a wall on the right, each of which has sturdy metal doors on the other side. Each of these doors is approximately, they're like 20 feet tall. And the door that you're in front of is approximately the same size.
Do I see any more, like, mechanisms on the inside, like cogwheels, anything?
Nope. There's no visible mechanisms on the other side.
I'm just gonna try and say open sesame. Just like, open sesame?
Okay, you use a code word, nothing happens. If there is a code word, that probably isn't the correct one.
I just look back at the Marrow or whatever the hell he was.
Yeah, Marrow.
Yeah, Marrow.
He
You
goes,
remember how to open this, or do I need to be myself?
Please don't be yourself on top of my hands.
He goes, I don't remember.
You're not dumb. You can remember. I believe in you.
Alright, he'll roll to see if it's even possible for him to know this information.
The power of friendship helps once again.
My little ponies, my little ponies.
Oh no, my heart! God, no. I've actually never seen an episode of My Little Ponies.
It's pretty good. They're pretty good.
The original series is apparently not as good as the newer series.
That is an accurate statement.
Yeah, let's say I will never try it.
I think I'll stick to Gravity Falls and Adventure Time. When it comes to...
I think I will stick to Rick and Morty and all that.
You should definitely try Gravity Falls, Geo. It's actually
I
pretty
have.
It's cool.
Okay, he rolled, and he doesn't know.
The bastard.
Time to get to work.
Can't remember.
Okay, so I'm gonna put thermite on each of the hinges.
Oh, gosh.
Okay. Decent plan.
Ah, damn it.
I think he spelled it Timit. But
I
that's
have.
okay.
I was probably very drunk when I made this.
Well, you're Temit.
You know what? Fuck, I'm not even gonna change. It's not thermite. It's Temet now.
God.
I'm gonna use the mighty Temet.
I'll just tell you, it blows up, or does whatever it does, but it seems like the door is unaffected.
I roll an Arcana.
Alright, you can do that.
That's damn.
You do see that there are anti-magic wards on the door.
God damn it! Okay, he's just gonna be super mad that his Temet didn't work as he wanted. So he's gonna get on his ass and cast Identify as a ritual.
Okay. So you guys stand there for about 10 minutes. Anything that you want to do? Anyone
Pull
other
out some
than Explo?
or pull out my beef jerky and start eating it.
Okay.
You didn't get that beef jerky from me, right?
No.
Okay, good.
No.
Very good. That's good.
Ethan always has beef jerky for some reason.
No, I have 97 charges of human beef jerky.
I know, I remember.
Alright, so, Zerskan, you see Explo just get frustrated after he looks at the door for a second and sit down and start doing a magical ritual. What do you do?
Should I brute force this? I can try to brute force this.
You can try.
Here we go. Please don't hurt me. 19.
Slam. You shoulder check the door. It makes a noise that you probably expected, but it doesn't, like, shatter into a million pieces or anything.
Ah, damn it. Well, at least now we definitely know it's not made of ice.
And luckily, your armor took the brunt of what would have hurt your shoulder, so you're alright.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's not gonna work.
Yeah,
I'm going
from
to
your
Star Wars
character's perspective, you slammed that door as hard as you could.
I'm going to do a crazy thing. I'm going to Star Wars Episode 1 the door.
You're gonna suck?
So, what?
You gonna open it by using the Force?
No. Did you never saw
No.
Star Wars Episode 1?
No, he's gonna do pod racing.
Like the original first episode, or
First episode, literal.
like the original?
Chronologically, or...
Chronologically.
Okay, so that would be pod
Okay,
racing.
They're
So
gonna
that
pod
would
race
mean
this.
he's gonna pod race it.
Yeah.
So what you're telling me is that you're gonna try and use.
Seen that movie,
So
seriously.
you just seen me use a magical item that has the heat of over 4,000 degrees Celsius, and it
Mhm.
didn't do nothing to it. So you're gonna try to use your sword, which is
Magic
not that
versus
hot.
magic. Magic versus magic.
My
You never know.
My Termit is also magical.
Well, have you tried? You just put it on 4 places. Have you tried to cut a hole in it?
It didn't affect the hinges on the thing. I mean, sure, you can stand there and try to be all Jedi Knight and look like a fucking idiot. If it actually works, I'm gonna get mad.
Well, you can try. You can try anything.
Sure, why the fuck not?
You could try to lick the door to see if that works, but it might
Wait,
not.
wait! I just recalled something. I'm a black fucking dragonborn.
That's true.
Eat acid. Where did I leave it? Here goes. Eat acid, stupid door.
Alright. What
Ignore the
particular
H.
section of the door do you target?
The center.
Okay, you target the center of the door. You hear
Mhm.
and it just goes down the middle of the door. The door isn't open.
You still want to try and be Qui-Gon?
No. I'm just gonna look to it and say, well, you didn't do anything yet.
Master, destroy us! No? Nobody? No?
Yes, I mean that part. We're close enough, I guess.
It's the part at the beginning of the movie, I assume.
Yes. Yes.
Where the guy locks them in the room with the gas.
Oh, when he tries to get into the...
Into that
those
room,
assets.
like, they can do that.
Yeah, they basically lock the doors and then they cut the door open. Yes, I know what you mean.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, so you spit on the door. However, you know that it fizzled against the door. And you know that you can't use your breath weapon again today.
Mm-hmm.
Behind you just heard, that was a cute one.
So you guys just basically watch him vomit on the door, is what it looks like from your perspective.
Can I punt him?
You can. I'm not going to stop you. There's
Can
no
I
laws
try to-
of physics preventing you from doing that. So
Can I try to fiddle with the door?
sure. What do you want to do with the door?
I would like to try to. I don't know. Let's just have a better look at the door. Just Investigation, perception, which one?
Alright, you can investigate the door to see if you find any hidden clues, which it seems like that's what you're trying to get.
Yeah, 12! Woohoo! Hi, Mr.
Okay,
Moody.
so since he pointed out, well, he didn't exactly point them out, but it seems that Explo got frustrated when he examined the door, so you examined the similar spot that he did. It seems that Zaraskon's vomit did do something to the door. It destroyed some of the runes on the door.
Right,
Okay.
means it's less magical.
Hey guys, I do the religion magic, not the reedy stuff. Oh, can you guys look at the door? Because your vomit may have made it worse or better.
Explode, check the door.
What? Oh, that's
I know.
terrible.
I know, my acid is amazing.
It's actually technically an arcana, so...
Okay.
Alright, you look at the door. His vomit did destroy some of the runes. You're not sure how that's going to affect the door or the magic on the door, but some of the runes are destroyed.
Oh, is it tiny baby?
The door needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
It's a door, it can't move. If it was a sentient door, I would give it a chance, but it's not.
Well, so far it takes a total of 42 damage.
Alright, and how many did you throw in one turn?
3.
Okay, you threw
4.
4 in one turn.
4. So
off-
it's actually
Mark off the appropriate bomb charges.
nothing. I just threw a bunch of grenades at it.
Yeah, but if you did that in one turn, then it would be bomb charges.
Okay.
That's the rule we decided on before.
Well, in battle, yeah, but
Yeah, but I said, did you throw them in one turn? And you said yes. So. Shrug. But either way, it doesn't ultimately matter. It just, the time frame matters. But either way, if you just throw them all at the door just starts melting inward. And there is now a hole approximately, I'll say 4 feet in height.
so I can get in.
Yes. And anybody else can get in as long as they are willing to crawl. If they're too tall.
I'll just walk in.
Yeah, because you're not that tall. And Lily can also walk in because she is less than 4 feet tall. I think. The Marrow's body allows it to slither in unimpeded.
The only one with a problem.
Actually, Jack is also tall.
Well, he's less wide.
True, but he's still tall. Which is a more vertical hole than it is a horizontal hole.
Horizontal. Mm-hmm.
So what do you guys wish to do? Do you wish to crawl through the door?
We can certainly try. So yeah, I'm gonna let Jack go first.
Alright. And since his computer is broken... Yeah, it's gonna be this. Alright, he manages to get through.
Okay, to give myself a bit more flexibility, I'm gonna take off the armor, cause you know, armor is a solid piece that doesn't bend very well.
Okay, so that takes you about 30 minutes?
Guess.
Okay, so while you guys are waiting for him to...
No, I think less. I think it's even just 10 minutes?
I'm willing to go with 15. I'm willing to go with 15, but that's the shortest because
Okay.
there's all the various straps and
yes,
buckles and stuff that you have to dismantle.
Yes, that's true. It's a good thing that I have, well, half plate instead of full plate.
Either way, if you don't want to damage your armor, unless if it's magical armor. Which is it magical armor?
Let me double check that. Yes, it's a +1.
Okay, then it's harder to destroy, but you still take about 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. So, while you guys are waiting for him to dismantle his armor, what do you guys wish to do?
I'm gonna start investigating the bigger doors on the inside.
Alright. You start looking at the other doors. Make an investigation check. Alright, you start
Rolling
looking.
terrible today.
You start looking around the door. It looks very similar to the door that you just came through.
Okay, but I wanna specifically try to recognize the runes.
Okay, that's another Arcana.
Damn.
Okay, so you start looking at the runes on the door. It appears that there is an anti-magic enchantment on these doors. However, it's not like there are anti-acid runes or anti-fire runes or anything like that. Looks like it's just things that are originated from a magical source. That are
Okay, but
technical.
my acid grenades are magical, though.
A little bit. In a way. The way that you create them is magical, but they're technically not.
It's alchemy, so...
Yeah. The way that you create them is, but the usage of them is not.
I'm guessing do they look the same? Do they have the grates on top of them? These ones as well?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just gonna use my boots to basically just jump up and try to hold on and look into through the things.
Alright, I'm gonna get you to make an acrobatics just to see if you can grab on easily enough. Yeah.
Damn.
So you managed to grab on.
I'm gonna go with the right door
Okay.
to do that.
You start looking inside. I'll need you to make a perception.
21.
Alright, you look around inside. You see skeletons. Varying sizes. Although the one that disturbs you the most is at the back of the chamber. It's so big that you can't even see the top of it. Like, you see legs that are skeletal, and it goes back about 10 feet into the darkness.
I would say the following pun. Is it the spooky, scary skeletons?
Depends on how spooked by
They're not
skeletons
dancing,
your
right?
characters are. No, they're not dancing.
Okay, so they're not spooky, scary skeletons yet.
Yet, he says.
Yet. I'm just gonna take a copper coin and I'm gonna kind of throw it through the grates and try to hit one of those skeletons just to see if they do anything.
Alright, I'll need you to make an unproficient ranged attack. Which is based on your
Dex?
Yeah.
So a straight dex roll?
Yeah. It taps one of the toe bones of one of them, but it doesn't do anything. The toe bone just falls off.
I'll go over and do the same to the other door.
Alright. Acrobatics. You've managed to grab onto the door. Then it's what was the other thing? Perception?
Perception.
Alright, you look in this room, same thing. Except this room has a couple bigger skeletons in it. And you
More of
continue
the
to look.
huge ones.
Yeah. And you look down the rest of this corridor. There's doors that continue on for past your. They continue on past your vision. Because you have dark vision, and it's dark in here. Oh wait, no, it's not. There's torches in here. I forgot, and it goes pretty much as far as you can see.
So it's just a long hallway with skeletons and a bunch of the same type of doors.
You haven't checked all the doors, but there's
Yeah, but
50
I can
at least
assume
that you can see.
assume that it's probably the same kind of door all the way in, right? I can assume it.
You can assume whatever you wish. Yes.
And then I assume all the doors on this inside is made of cotton candy, which makes it easy to penetrate.
You can assume that, indeed.
Apparently Lonnie can't rejoin.
I do not assume that those doors are made of cotton candy.
I'm not sure how to get her back in here.
See, okay, hold on. Perhaps thing.
Oh, there she is.
I just did that.
Oh, okay.
Call her again.
Hello.
Hello.
yeah. Hello.
Why you leave?
Oh, my.
Hello, little guy.
Guess
Hello,
what?
tiny human.
My phone got demolished. Sir Davy. Plop, sir. Plop.
Okay. So
It has grown since the last time I've seen it.
Same here.
Mister! Leave it! Mr. Baby!
distractions.
Well,
Try.
I'm gonna identify the damn doors now.
Okay. So do you take 10 minutes to do so?
Yes, I don't want to waste a spell slot when there's no enemies.
Okay. So
I'm guessing by the time Saraskan gets in.
yeah, Lily, you just watched him peek in some of the doors.
To what? Some of the doors? Kick in?
Peek.
He peeked.
One more time?
Yeah. You see Explo kick down the metal doors like
I
a.
heard. I heard y'all say pee-pee.
Oh,
No.
P-E-E-K. Peek.
All right.
So he looked inside, to rephrase it, the metal doors, and he's now just sort of sitting on the ground preparing a ritual again.
can I? When I'm doing the ritual, can I talk to other people?
Yes,
Like have a
because
conversation?
you're sort of like, if you imagine it, you're just sort of like putting down implements on the floor and like using chalk to draw an outline of a ritual casting circle, that sort of thing. So yes, you can still
not
talk.
Lucifer. Give me power, Lord and Savior Satan. No?
Don't influence the baby.
Either way, so you can still talk to people if you want.
As soon as Saraskan actually managed to crawl inside.
Oh, he
Completely
hasn't
naked?
done that yet.
Yeah, but as soon as.
Not
Say,
completely naked, because he's at least clothed underneath his armor. He has
Well,
decent
I'm gonna imagine that you're completely naked when you get to this side of the door. And then I'm gonna ask you if you could cast the same spell that we used, locate object, just to see if we're on the right track.
Oh, that's
yes,
good.
that's true.
Yeah, so, just to clarify, everyone who has armor, so in other words, anyone who isn't like a pure caster, has armor, and underneath that armor, you have padding because just having armor would be extremely uncomfortable.
Nobody has scales.
So the padding is a thing. You don't have to like change clothes or anything, or have clothes underneath. You have padding. So if that's a worry, that is a thing. So the next thing is you guys wait 10 minutes, I guess, and or approximately you wait about 9 minutes because Explo wasted some time looking through the doors before the ritual happens. So Zerskan, you've finally taken off all your armor. You put it in your backpack. He has padding, if he wishes.
He's naked.
Sorry, go ahead.
I have padding.
So you can attempt to crawl through the door. It is still dexterity.
Which I will. First of all, I put my back through the door.
Okay, the
My
bag
bag.
is through the door.
And then I need to roll a what?
Dexterity.
Dexterity. Here we go.
Alright. He gets about halfway through the door, and the acid melted pieces of the door have left a relatively sharp edge on them.
Oh.
And I need you to take damage of this corresponding amount. 15 damage.
Whoa!
Hold on.
That looks like it's gotta hurt.
Ah! Didn't you file it down or anything?
No, he just used acid to burn a hole through the door.
Yeah, so
So
he
the
does have
front part
holes
is
there
more
also.
burnt than the end part, so the end part is sharper than the front part.
Mhm. Yeah, so I was just, but did you file it down or anything before you let us use it? Damn it.
I didn't know you were coming, I just walked in. Like a normal person would. And just kind of look straight up at him with a big smile.
Like a normal small person would. You know what a big tall person does to a very small person?
Punks him half a mile down a hallway.
Yes. And he's going like,
They give warm
Instant answer,
hugs.
no time to
Give
think
warm
about that.
hugs. Yes.
Well, either way, you now have a gash in your side, which you can choose how to deal with or not.
Expo tells him that if he wants to, he can rummage around his bag of holding because he has 51 unidentified potions in them. To see if I can find a healing potion for him.
Sure, go on, look for it.
No, I'm not. Can I while I'm doing the ritual?
Not while you're doing the ritual. You still have about 20 seconds left. So if you were to stop, you would have to start over again.
I'll be putting on my armor.
Alright, he starts putting his armor back on, and it
Oh,
takes
yeah,
longer
right.
to put it on. It takes longer to put it on.
I would have asked you to cast that spell, by the way, before we did this.
Yeah, when I'm
case
armed
we have
again.
Go back!
So which spell is he casting?
Locate object.
Okay.
Which also takes 10 minutes.
Oh.
As you can see.
Ritual!
Uh-huh.
No, casting time
Can
takes
you,
one action.
Yeah, but it's a ritual.
If you're casting it as a ritual, then...
Oh no, it's not a ritual. Correction, it's not a ritual.
Yeah, so you can only cast
duration,
it as a spell.
concentration up to 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So, you cast the spell. The object you are looking for is approximately It's to the left of you, down the hallway somewhat.
I just point my arm to the left, that way.
Do you know how far?
No, he doesn't.
It's not within. Let
It's
me see
within a
how
mile.
many. Yeah, but it does.
When you get within... Nope. You don't know. You have no idea.
Nope, no clue.
It's within a
I just
mile
knows that
in
when-
that direction. That's all he knows.
Yep.
And
If
it's
we were to
currently
pause it,
not
then-
moving.
Yep,
That's
it's that side.
positive.
So, what did you see in the room?
He finishes the ritual, and the information that you get from the door is that it's a door of anti-magic. Basically, if someone attempts to target the door with a magical object or a spell, then it just doesn't work.
Okay.
Hey, basically, door of fuck you, wizard.
Because there are people, such as sorcerers that you guys are aware of, that can innately
Mhm.
cast magic. So in order to lock such people up, they created an invention to do so.
And there's still no locking mechanisms or opening mechanisms that we can see. That I can see. Since I identified it, will I know anything about how to open them?
The identify spell only gives you magical effects on the door, so you know that the locking mechanism isn't magical.
Okay. I'm gonna try and investigate it, at least, like, not only the door, but, like, on the walls around the door in the area that we're in, just to see if there's anything, like levers or... Like the doors in Skyrim, where how you open the doors are like 50 meters behind the door. Or hidden levers or anything like that.
Okay. You have a look. Make an investigation. Alright. You look at the door, and how the door is opened is it is pulled up into the ceiling using some sort of mechanism. But the mechanism isn't in front of you.
And not in the room we're in either.
No, not in the long hallway, not in the cell itself.
I dare bet it was in the storage room somewhere.
No, we already looked around there. Before
Yeah,
we
and
did
I
that long rest,
basically
and
told you
there was
guys there is
nothing.
absolutely nothing in the room except a lever.
The small one.
Okay, so then we get the lever and take it. We get a lever or a key of some sort and take it back to the store?
There's a mechanism that allows it to go up into the ceiling. That's all you know.
We just don't see the activation mechanism for it.
Yeah, there's not like a button on the wall or anything that you can press.
Or the words, put lever here to open door.
Yeah, there's no clearly labeled thing that tells you how to open the door.
All we gotta do is go find it.
We're already
Just turn to
inside.
Sarah, hey, you're pretty buff. Do you work out? No. Try and just lift it.
You can
Just
attempt to
banging
lift the
it
door
up.
if you want.
I'm at least gonna put on my armor before I do it, because I don't want to get burned again.
Alright, so you wait an additional 25 minutes after you guys discuss that.
Can we speed it up by helping the guy?
Yes, you can help him. It's how rich people get their armor on so fast. They have multiple servants that put on different pieces at the same time. So if you guys want to do that, you can. But
Yes.
if he was to do it by himself, it will take 30 minutes, which he's already 5 minutes into doing.
Yeah, we'll help you. But I'm not touching her codpiece. That thing's probably
Don't worry, I'll do it myself.
Lily doesn't care.
Okay, so
So
it
the
takes
first thing she goes for is the codpiece.
So he might be a jerk, but isn't that big of a jerk.
actually Dragonborn have different genitalia than regular other humanoids, due to the fact that they reproduce using eggs.
True
That's
story.
very true.
So
So is it just like every other thing in this world that reproduced by egg? You just have an anus?
well, technically, that would be the females that would lay the eggs. He's a male.
Yeah,
So-
but male chickens only have an ass, and everything goes through that hole. Piss, shit, and semen. Fun fact.
It's called a cloaca, but
Yeah,
Um,
that thing.
A Dragonborn doesn't work that way, I think. At least I like to think.
luckily, he does have a protruding thing, but it's not a penis, as per usual. It looks slightly different.
Call you dickless.
He's
In
calling
other
you
words,
dickless.
it doesn't have, like, large testicles or anything, so it's less of a weak point than it is on other creatures. It also is hidden under scales, so when he's not aroused, then it's not even visible.
That seems less fun.
I think this time you, Matt, actually managed to demonetize it before I did. For once.
It's
He
just
is right.
and it's an anatomical explanation, so I would assume not, but maybe.
No, only
No,
if it were to be an education channel, then we wouldn't be.
This is an educating channel. Come on, it's a pretty okay, smart group of people here.
So, an explanation by explo is an explanation?
Yes?
Interesting.
I guess so. Either way, you don't see his genitalia. That's what that was all for.
How long does it take to put on the armor?
Dragonborn do technically have nipples, even though they have no purpose.
Just like men.
Yes, but even the female ones, they have breasts, but they serve no purpose.
Of course they have breasts. They're filled with a man's hope and dreams.
Either way. So
I'm filled with
either way. Yeah, it takes you about an additional 13 minutes.
Well, shorter than 30.
Yes.
I mean, we could probably only help you with the leg pieces anyways.
Well, if he sat down, then you could help him with the rest, but but either way, I'll say that Jack is helping him, so that also he reaches the higher up parts that you guys can't reach. So
That the small people can't reach.
And technically Zersgon doesn't have a helmet. So
Jackie boy?
It is possible to have a helmet, but most Dragonborn just don't, because, they like to have a visual on their target.
well, helmets don't necessarily obscure that type of thing. Such as when you get a magical helmet, you can still equip it. So it's a thing.
So is Jack actually strong, or is he pretty...
Let me look at his stats and he'll describe.
I think he's more dexterous than anything else.
It's not his strong suit, but the class that he is does give him advantage with things such as saving throws for strength.
So I'm guessing Jack is gonna help Sarascon try and lift the door.
Oh boy.
Well, he has a -1 modifier. But he
Oh.
can help, which the help action, it doesn't matter what your stat is.
Okay, well in
Per
that
the
case,
mechanics.
anybody here. Why am I thinking about Jack? Lily! Come on!
Well,
Well,
either
so-
Zarascon or Lily have the highest strength. I know that for sure. But I'm not sure
I'm
which
still,
one.
I'm still chowing down on my. Oh shoot, my thing.
Bro.
Can somebody roll for me because it took forever, and my window refreshed, and whenever that happens, I have to go through the whole process of signing back in again.
Hooray.
Odd.
Oh, you're not using the app?
Oh, the app is terrible. The app is so bad. I have to. I use my I use the webpage.
Okay, so Zarascon, what's your strength?
20. So
Okay,
5.
so you're stronger.
Modifier.
You would roll.
Okay.
Go crazy, sir.
With advantage or disadvantage?
She is going to help you, so at advantage.
Action.
So straight strength, athletics. What do we roll?
Athletics. Because technically you're doing the same thing that you would if you were lifting weights. So,
Okay,
I'll give you
athletics.
athletics.
Here we go. Just straight athletics. 27.
Why
We
not
just
at
roll.
advantage?
Oh, at advantage. Okay. Second roll. Nope, 27.
Okay. You managed to put your hands underneath the door. This is just a random door, by the way. You guys didn't walk to anywhere. So, you just put your hands
Oh.
underneath the door. And
The left door, yes.
It is a left door, but you didn't walk to the correct door. You didn't say that you were walking to a different door, because that would have taken some time. But either way, you put your hands under the door, and it does begin to lift.
I hear a
Sure.
but I don't dare to ask what.
Okay, as soon as the door is big
he
enough.
has it about like 2 feet off the ground, and he is currently like those guys who lift like a huge weights.
Oh,
When
God.
they're lifting, he's got it there, but if he wants to open it more, he'd have to roll again. So he has it at 2 feet right now, and he's currently like standing in the strong man position, holding it.
Is his face getting red?
He's a dragonborn, so that doesn't happen. But if it could, then probably it would be starting right about now.
Hurry the fuck up. There's no...
So then again,
Everything's
does he
alright.
get advantage on trying to lift it again, since Lily is so short?
I'm adorable sized.
Well,
I
it's
think
only
she
2
actually-
feet.
And
It's
I am
only 2 feet
super
up.
adorable sized.
It's only 2 feet up yet, so she can still help him.
I
Cause
can
she's
do
like
this too.
she's like around 3 or 4 feet.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So, okay, here we go again. This time an advantage. Nah.
Hey!
All right. Lily manages to take enough of the strain off of you that you just manage to get it above your shoulders. However, the door is like 20 feet tall, so you're not going to get it open all the way, but it's on your shoulders. So anybody can
As
go
soon
up.
as it's on his shoulders, I'm gonna run in, and I'm gonna... you said it was a bunch of those giants, right?
In this door, yes, they're skeletal giants, yes.
I'm gonna try to find a large piece of bone that
Okay.
is pretty tall, that would be thick enough to support the door, but still small enough for me to be able to carry it.
I'll get you to make an investigation to see which bone you decide to pick up.
26.
Alright, there are plenty of bones that are that tall. And as you get closer, it's like strung up to the wall, and it looks like it's about the size of maybe a cloud giant? Maybe
Damn.
maybe a little bit smaller, maybe a little bit bigger. You're not sure.
Staring is fun and all, but, doors are heavy.
Yeah, you grab the bone and you run over. However, before you reach there, Zerskan, I need you to make another roll. Athletics. However, it's by yourself this time.
Straight. Yes, straight. 20.
Alright, you manage to keep it open. And Explo gets this very large bone and he just props it into the door. It seems as though the bone... Perhaps this thing died quite a while ago, and the bone isn't as sturdy as you might want it to be. And you can hear it cracking slightly. But it is open for now.
Come on, another one. I can hold it a little more, because,
I'll run over and get another one.
Alright, you grab a similar bone. These seem to be bones in the leg that you're just grabbing off the floor.
The femurs.
And you prop it up the other one. But as you're in the middle of propping this next one, I need Zerskan at advantage to roll another athletics, because you have the bone helping you.
26. Oof.
Alright,
That
you
was
managed to
needed.
keep it. You managed to keep it in place, and the bone wedges in. Both bones are holding it in place, although they are still ancient, and you're not sure how long they'll last. But they are, for now, holding the door.
Okay, how big of a hole would I need to make on the other side to make my bear able to get through?
You mean the door?
Yeah, the door that I made a hole in.
The first door.
Oh, okay, that hole.
Because I completely forgot about my bear.
The bear is on the other side of the door.
Yeah, he can't get in that hole.
You would need to throw at least 3 or 4 more grenades at the door.
Okay, so I'm doing these ones at intervals to save bomb charges.
Okay. Alright, so he spends... one more.
One more?
Yeah.
Okay, so 4. So no, it's 8 feet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So he spends about close to half a minute blowing up the door a little wider so the bear can get through. And you guys are in this room. It appears to be some sort of prison. And there are lots of skeletons in here. Small and big. However, the bigger ones, there's only 3, and 2 of which are complete, because you guys stole bones from one of them. So what do you want to do in this room?
So are these like alive skeletons or like skeletons, not alive skeletons?
Well, I did just steal half a leg, so pretty sure. And just look around. Most of them are bolted to the wall, so I think we'll manage.
So they're not animated as far as we can tell?
As far as we can tell. Well, if it's an animated skeleton, then I managed to steal half a leg from one of them.
Well,
they're pretty slow.
Good point.
Let me just say, if I can find it, let me say this, Divine Sense.
No undead are nearby. Or any of the others.
We're safe.
For now.
Okay, following the locate object.
Okay, it is in a different cell than this cell.
Wrong cell. But wait, you said to the left, so just follow it to the left.
Okay, you start walking. I guess you open that door for no reason.
Who knows? We don't know.
What? Did we open the right door?
Nope. Because you guys just said, okay, we're gonna open this door. But you didn't move. You didn't walk anywhere.
Yeah, but didn't the thing show the way to the left?
There are about 50 doors on the left.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Aren't just 2 doors. I'm sorry
Okay,
if you
so
guys
there-
misunderstood, but you just went to the first door on the
I thought
left.
it was the hallway with doors on the sides.
It's a
So
hallway
there's...
with doors on either side. Yes. And there's 50 doors on the left and 50 doors on the right.
Okay, I'm gonna walk past every door until, well, my detection is like, you're walking fast, it is now pointing behind you.
Okay. So you continue walking. Takes you about 5 minutes, but you do arrive at the proper door. It's about 31 doors in.
Jeez, sir.
Okay, this should be the right one. Lily, bit of help again.
You know what? I think this might just be faster, but can I look inside first? And he'll just, like, make the motions as a kid will do when he wants to sit on his dad's shoulders, like, just look up at him and do like this.
Carl is not gonna let you on the shoulder, so he's gonna be like, baby goes up and just throws him
just
up in
gonna-
the air.
You're just gonna do like this on the back of his neck and just carry him up.
No, he's gonna grab you by your side and then just yeet! Straight up in the air.
You're gonna throw me?
Yes. I can
Going
catch
to
you.
have to toss me. So he tosses you. I guess you're going to have to make an acrobatics because he threw you.
Because one time is fun, but if you're gonna be like a child about it...
Okay, so
You miss the door.
I die.
And you fall back down about 10 feet.
Grab,
So you take damage.
grab.
Okay, you can attempt to grab him with your dexterity.
Whee!
not acrobatics, so.
Higher!
Oh my god.
Oh wait, the advantage still was on.
That's okay, it's the same
Hey.
number. So, you somehow managed to miss him.
Yeah.
So,
I can't use my rocket boots to slow my fall?
unfortunately, you don't react in time.
Okay.
So you take 5 damage.
Fair enough, I guess. Now,
Come over here!
I lay on hands.
Come over here! Don't do that again!
She pokes your nose.
Boop!
Why am I the smart one? This is a bad idea.
because I like to throw people, that's why.
Okay, so he is now on the floor.
Okay, this time just pick him up and just hold him up via the bars or whatever so they can see through it.
Alright, perception. As long as Explo allows this to happen. Okay, he allowed it to happen. So, 21. You look into the room. This room has no skeletons in it. And
For the madman.
near the front of the cell, you see stereotypical looking rogue hood over a human looking male. Or wait, he's... Yeah, it looks humanoid in shape. Though you're only seeing in grayscale because it's pitch black in the cell.
Which item did you cast the spell on? Because you had both an item from Uncle and Madame.
That's up to him.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking him. Oh, he's muted himself.
I did on the one he requested.
Uncle.
That being Uncle Spoon. It was, if I'm correct.
Uncle Spoon. Uncle Silver Spoon.
Yeah, his silver spoon. Okay.
Oh, I think I'm gonna get disconnected soon. Just give me...
just give me...
Yep. If all the video feed is freezing, then I know I'm gonna get disconnected.
Okay, so...
Okay, so as I'm watching through the bars, I'm just gonna go like... Cool.
Alright. You see a shift in the stereotypical rogue's hood as the head turns towards you. And he says, "Who are you?"
Is it Uncle's voice?
Yes. He's a little hoarser than usual, but yes, it sounds like him.
Hasn't been that long, you old fool. How did you manage to get catch?
The city was flooded. Still don't know who I'm talking to.
I think he has amnesia or something.
Just say your name out, Expo.
By the way, there is light in the hallway, not where he is, so your face is probably pitch black.
It's me!
Just say your name, Explo. Don't be such a hard ass.
Explo!
He
There you
goes,
go.
"You were gone. How did you get back?"
Black magics. Let me down, I'm gonna open the door.
He's 10 feet up, isn't he?
Probably.
He's 10 feet up, isn't he?
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna drop him.
Aww. That's too
I
kind.
could, but that would just be cruel.
So I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna throw acid grenades at intervals and make the hole big enough so that's 8 acid grenades. For
Okay.
a total of 1 minute.
Okay.
Do you want me to roll them or...
It doesn't really matter.
So since you said 30 seconds on 4, so 1 minute of just going into the bag, throwing it at the door, going into the bag, just throwing it at the door. It's making the hole bigger and bigger.
Okay.
Expo, you're such a badass.
I am.
There is a hole big enough in the door for you guys to go through, if you so wish.
Okay, I'm gonna run over to him, and the first thing I'm gonna do is to put up my alchemy jug and start making fresh water.
Okay. As you get further into the room, you see that Woolsey and Jockey and Madame are all in this room, but they were pinned to the back wall of this cell.
Shackles?
Yep.
I'm gonna go over and start watering my uncle.
I just walk into the room.
He drinks from it. The others appear to be unconscious.
I just walk into the room with my flame tongue greatsword. Well, seems like the whole family is here.
The room is about 80 feet from the entrance to the back wall, and your sword doesn't even light the whole room when you're standing in it.
Oh, okay.
Jeez.
So as I'm watering uncle, I'm just gonna be you, Jockey, Madame Woolsey, was in the same cell, and you still didn't manage to get out. You're getting old man.
Yeah, you're getting old man.
Lily, shush.
Lily, be quiet.
Well, to be fair, we were with the other refugees in the city. And when it got flooded, we passed out and woke up here. We have none of our equipment. And you look at them, they don't have any of their possessions that they would normally have on them.
Good thing I brought them.
Well, you look famished as well, so can't just raise up his hand, snaps his finger, 'cause he can cast. Yes, I have this constantly prepared, great food and water.
It's probably smart. The shackles, they have locks on them, right?
Yes, they do.
Hopefully.
Thank God. Jesus.
Go on, do your job. I will be giving out food.
That's a bomb that you just rolled.
Oh crap.
He didn't separate them.
I didn't even do the right thing anyways.
This thieves tools, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you manage. You didn't check it, but you managed to disarm a very complicated trap by accident as you unlock it.
Do I notice this?
Yes, you do. You notice
Okay.
that there was a weird thing that you just that your lockpick touched, but it didn't activate for whatever reason, and you just completed the unlocking of the shackles, and it just didn't activate the whatever it was.
Okay, next lock, let's be careful.
Crap.
Don't want to have family a la... Whatever.
Before I start working on the other locks, I'm actually going to examine the lock that I just picked up to learn as much as I can about the trap.
Okay.
So who did you unlock first?
Uncle.
So yeah,
Okay, Uncle.
he's conscious. He starts moving around.
Lily's gonna try to heal him a little bit.
Okay.
For 5.
Yeah. After she's done with that, Kat will just, well, help him up, give him some food, and just tell him, it'll be bland, but it will be feeding.
Better than the food I've had since I've been down here. And he
Well,
just eats.
How long have you been down here?
A long time, Lily.
He looks down
Hello?
at Lily as Explo's examining the lock. You'll need investigation on the lock, just while this conversation is happening. He goes, "We haven't seen the sun in I don't know how long.
That's not helpful.
It's hard to keep track of days when you can't see anything to keep track of time." And with that investigation, you see that it's a mechanical contraption that activates blades within the manacles themselves. That if it's tampered with, what it's supposed to do, whether or not it actually succeeds in doing so depends on the person. It's supposed to just cut the person's hand off.
Wow.
Ooh. You nearly behanded Uncle.
Did I get enough to know how to deactivate it before I tinker with the lock?
Yes, which lowers the DC. But if you still roll low enough, you'll still activate the trap. But it lowers the DC.
Okay, so I'm going over to the closest of my crew.
Alright, closest is Jockey.
Just gonna try to spray a little water on him, see if he wakes up.
You spray a little water on him and he does not wake up.
He needs a bit more than just that. I think he needs a bit more healing than. Well,
He's still
probably more.
alive.
Yes, he appears to be living. He's just... Perhaps he's used to drinking more water than he's been given down here. He appears dehydrated.
He's a big boy.
And
Okay.
I just made 30 gallons
For a
of water.
human, he's pretty tall. He's like 6'11".
Damn.
He's a tiny boy compared to. He's just a bit smaller than Khan.
Oh, Olaf is here.
Hello.
I'm super quiet.
We got an
And
intro.
now
If anyone
Olaf is here.
wants
He rolled a good stealth check.
If anyone wants to fill him in on what's been happening to this point.
In the meantime, I'll be switching windmills.
Okay, well, if either one of you two want to fill him in on what is currently happening.
So I'll be back
Well,
in a few.
As the windmill hopping happens and Olaf comes in, I must go, sir. I apologize.
Everyone's
Well.
leaving me. Should never.
Of course, Olaf just appeared. No wonder you're leaving.
So
I've
take
used
care,
16
Ben.
gigs like a
See ya.
noob now.
See you, Lenny. Okay, so you weren't here. Yeah, you were here last session.
Yes, I was last session.
So basically, we just got in the doors, the ones that we wanted to open. They're protected by magic, by being basically just warded by magic. So magic can't hurt the doors,
No, okay.
but my alchemy kits do.
Yes, because basically you're using magic to create it, but it isn't a magical acid. It's just a regular acid. So, it still counts.
So my thermite is 100% magical.
Apparently.
So we acided one door, we pried one door open with a bunch of bones, and then we used locate objects to find the cell that my old crew was in. And now we're here, and they're dehydrated and starved.
Figured.
Yeah, I figured. Is a 21 good enough to get the lock up without chopping off Jockey's hands?
Yes. Yeah, and that was another thing that they discovered. Apparently the shackles that are being used, if they are tampered with, they have a trap on them that cuts off the hands of the person in the manacles.
That would be bad for Jockey if he's the muscle in the group.
Yeah,
I'll just build him another hand.
He uses a great sword that's fashioned like a stereotypical bastard sword. So it's pretty big and heavy. Either way, he is freed, however, he is unconscious. Uncle is the only one who is conscious at the moment. So if Jack wants to say anything to him, I just figured since he just got here. May as well give him a chance to say something if he wants.
No.
Yeah, he doesn't have anything to say.
Okay. You look at him, he appears to be a tiefling. You know that tieflings tend to veer towards evil, but they don't have to be. Well, you know Explo, and he tends to be... Well, you know a little bit about him, and he seems to be very chaotic.
I know more than enough.
So,
I'm a damn good to read people.
but yeah, creatures of pretty much every race have come to see your mother at one time or another, so you know what a tiefling is.
Yeah. I know the creature.
Yeah. So he's currently hiding his face under a hood, so all you can see is his sharp, demonic-like teeth that he has when he speaks. But otherwise, he just looks like a tiefling that's in He's got like a little roguish hood on. Jockey, he has actually a sports outfit on because why not play the role? It's actually I've implemented into this universe the sports of blitzball because you guys are in the underwater city, so he thought it was fitting to wear a blitzball uniform. So, yes, blitzball, the underwater soccer, basically. It's more like underwater football, actually. American football.
Never heard of it. Do they wear scuba suits or are they just in a pool?
It's not a real sport. It's a sport.
Oh, okay.
It's a sport that is done in the world of Final Fantasy X.
Okay.
So basically, they're in a sphere of water, and you just play basically football, except it has a goal, like soccer. So American football.
Yeah.
And you try to
Okay,
throw
but,
it past the goalie, basically. So
Cool.
it's just a uniform, basically, for sports. So you move on, I assume? Madame is the one in the middle. She's elven. Yeah, you managed to get hers off, no problem.
He's super nice.
And luckily, since you discovered the trap, you managed to disarm the trap, but you didn't open the lock on Woolsey's
Okay.
manacles. You can try again. Yeah, this
How
time.
about now?
Yeah, this time, since you weren't trying to disarm the trap and unlock it at the same time, it was a little easier. So you managed to pop the locks open. And by the way, Woolsey again is a Minotaur.
Minotaur.
Yeah. So he still has. They didn't confiscate his glasses. He still has the little tiny round glasses at the end of his nose. They're very tiny compared to the size and shape of his face.
So what I'm gonna do next is basically I'm just gonna walk around and pour my healing drug into the mouths of these people that are unconscious.
Okay. So glug, 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 glug.
Yeah.
Actually, it was only 3. But anyway, Jockey
Do
wakes
you
up
want me
first.
to roll the health?
You can roll them for formality. Just in case they have less or more health.
So I'm guessing I'm going to start with Woolsey, so he gets 13, and then go the same stretch, just the other way around.
Okay.
So Woolsey, Madame, and Jockey.
Yep. They all wake up. So Woolsey goes, and then he looks over at you. I'm not sure if Minotaurs have dark vision. I don't think they do.
Well, Sarascon said he was walking into the middle of the room with his flaming sword, so
yeah,
it should be at least dimmed light.
Yeah.
If they're not so far apart, that doesn't help.
He looks towards. I'm actually gonna look it up.
I don't know which Minotaur from which book you do.
It is the one that you're allowed to use the racial stats of in 5e.
Yes, that would be Eberron or something. So no, they don't have rush. Nope. I had the Minotaur made in case I die.
Well, now we know of another race that doesn't have dark vision.
Yeah, they have horns, they have more horns, and they have a free skill, and they get the stats of an orc with strength and con, but no dark.
Okay. Well, the one that I clicked on is not the right one. Yeah, here it is, I think. Conqueror's Virtue. Is that the one?
They made it canon in one of the newer books in Ravnica. They made Minotaur canon, and they don't have it.
Okay.
That's the only Minotaur race I can find at D&D Beyond, owning every single book in the fucking series.
I've only been
Okay, it says race
near
variant.
Minotaur once before.
What?
That was you, right, Olaf?
What?
Was it? A Minotaur.
Yeah, it says here Conqueror's. It says here Conqueror's Virtue.
I think it was a one-shot.
In a
And
one time, I've never played a Minotaur.
and Labyrinthine Recall. Is that the one?
No, I have the source books from Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica. That's where the Minotaur I am reading from, at least.
Yeah, but I'm looking at the skills they have.
Yeah. And that is...
What I just said. Conqueror's Virtue and Labyrinthine Recall. Are those the ones?
No.
No?
You can use it if you want, but I have the whole thing here. I don't know if you have access to it since I'm using D&D Beyond Solo.
I'm looking it up online, but I'm not finding the right one. The one that you're using.
Let me just... Let me check the favorite page that Geo used for everything. Where is it?
Right, I should check that instead.
5e.
Yeah, that's the correct one. The one in 5e is the correct one.
Okay.
I should remove one of the Ramstads instead, probably. It's super noisy and I have all 4 sticks in.
Okay. Minute. Here it is. Okay. So they didn't give you... For this one, they didn't give Labyrinthine Recall. That's a shame. Either way. So... He wakes up and he looks at the light in the middle of the room and he can't really see anything else. So he says, "Oh, who's there?"
I'm just gonna try and walk straight up to his ear and just... Your worst nightmare.
And he sort of jumps to the side a little bit. And he goes, "Oh, must be you. It's always you."
And then we're gonna switch back to my regular... Ooh!
He just looks down in your direction, but he can't really see you. And he just gives you the stink eye. You know that he knows who you are. And he usually tries to look at you through his little tiny glasses at the end of his minotaur snout. And
always like this.
Yeah, and his eyes are usually magnified hugely through them. So his eyes usually look huge to you when he looks at you through them. However, he's not looking directly at you this time because he can't see you perfectly. Madame starts to wake up. Oh, goodness. What is happening?
You're all getting old. That's what's happening.
She just sighs. And she starts patting herself. And then she takes out the long cigarette holder. And she reaches into one of her pockets and takes out a bent, slightly broken cigarette. And she puts it on the end. And then she starts patting herself to see if she has some way to light it, but she doesn't. And she goes, oh, shit.
I'll walk over and light it for her.
Okay. She goes, okay. It's been a while since I had a chance to do that. She sort of just holds on to it, and it's obtuse. It's over a foot long, her cigarette holder.
That's
Yeah, like one of those from the really, like the cartoon movies where, like Cruella de Vil. She
Yes.
has one of those.
Yeah. It's obtuse, but she uses it for whatever reason.
So you won't get this nasty nicotine stains on your fingers.
Yes, exactly. But either way, Jockey begins to wake up and he goes, What happened?
I'll start walking over to Uncle, and as I pass him and he says, "What happened?" Foul ball! I'll just say and just move past him.
And he goes, No, I always score.
Nothing gets over my head. My reactions are simply too quick.
And he
Best
sort of like
line of the whole
pounds his
movie.
chest slightly.
Actually, knowing how Jack is, and hearing that probably, then I just say to Jockey, well, if you always score, why are you in prison?
He looks over to Uncle, and Uncle says, Yeah, we were drowning, so I think that's a pretty good excuse.
Okay.
I guess that's good enough.
Sure.
Should be an adequate enough excuse.
I'll just not mention who my mother is, and they might stop nagging me.
But either way,
I'm just gonna walk over to Uncle, and since he's really human-sized, I guess I'm gonna just hug his leg and say, "I've actually kind of missed you."
he goes, You missed my money. And he pats you on the head.
Of course.
That's the only thing I ever missed.
And
Did you do it though? Did you get the bank before it all happened?
we were too busy drowning. And then locked up here.
Actually contemplating hitting the bank before we leave.
Well, it is on the water side. Do you have any breathing implements for us? Breathing challenge.
I have one more, so we need to get 3 more.
The refugees tried to scrambled swim towards the guardhouses. There's probably not many left.
Hopefully that'll be else we're just gonna have to take turns to get out. Which is gonna suck.
You've gone through worse with us, let alone what you went through before us. I'm sure you'll figure it out.
He'll just sit down right beside Uncle and take out his pipe and start smoking.
Uncle starts patting his himself, and he goes, I don't have my pipe on me. And Madame goes, Madame goes, it's a shame, isn't it? And she just smokes her cigarette. And he just gives her the death stare.
I'm just gonna go out in the hallway and just get a piece of bone from a human-sized skeleton and just quickly make a very crude pipe.
Alright, so as this is happening, it's gonna take about... I'll be generous and give you 20 minutes. It's gonna take.
You want me to do Tinker Tools?
Yeah.
A bone carver.
27.
Damn.
Alright. You
So
managed
it's
to
actually
make
pretty beautiful.
you managed to make something not only functional, but you managed to you have a few seconds left over in the time that you think that it should take you, and you manage to slice down the side of it and a fairly intricate embellishment on the side. You can choose what that embellishment looks like.
Back on
Oh.
what the carvings?
Yeah, you managed to make a pretty intricate embellishment on the side of your the pipe that you're making. So you can choose what that looks like.
Just take some Nordic runes and stuff, like Nordic signs.
Alright. It's fairly decent looking. And he
I'm gonna get disconnected again, it seems.
We have fun here.
Any minute now.
I'll wait till you come back. Are you back?
Yes.
Okay. He takes it and he goes, how... what's the word? I can't think of it. Googly moogly. It's a word for... that's it. How morbid. I love it. And he just takes it. And he goes, but my pipe weed. Where's my pipe weed?
I already put a stack of tobacco in it.
Oh, okay. He looks inside and he goes, oh. And then he just goes over to Madame, and she reluctantly just sticks the end of her cigarette into his pipe to light it. And then he just puffs on it. He's got the image of a very content halfling who just got their hands on their pipe. Like, he even puts his hands on his chest like this as he's smoking it.
I'm guessing I can't identify the amulet. The amulets that we found to Brewater to actually make them myself.
You can, but it would take time.
How long would it take to make 3 of them?
Uh,
And what ingredients would I need?
you would need
Like,
you would need an enchanter's kit, which is not a common thing that people use in D&D, but it's a thing that you would need.
okay, I don't have that, so that plan is out the door.
But it would take you about, if you had the proper materials, approximately 2 weeks to make one from scratch without guiding enchantment, like an enchantment oil or things of that nature, which exist in this world. You can just dip something in the oil and it automatically enchants it. But
You think that's how they mass produce those things here?
Because since you're someone who's skilled in such things, you're the class of person who would make such a thing. People who are unskilled, it would take them like 3 months to make such an object without the oil. And that's if they had like a pattern of the runes that they had to make and everything. Which you can just examine the items you have to make one, but unless you find enchanting oil, because you need the specific. You can even make enchantment oil, but it would take you just as long to enchant that as it would one object. But you would need the specific oil, which is a magical oil, which is relatively hard to come by, but
I'm guessing I just can't make it in my alchemy jug.
Unfortunately, no. Because I think you can only make mundane liquids and not magical liquids.
Probably.
Yeah, so it's a magical liquid. You don't know much about it, however. You just know that it exists. You guys can research the oils if you wish, but that would be a thing you would have to look into.
As I'm sitting there waiting for people to just get their strength together and making a plan to get the hell out of here, I'll just start fixing my uncle's blunderbuss.
Okay.
Can I help him with that?
Technically, Explo isn't an expert in fixing weaponry. You are. So his DC would be higher than yours, so him helping you would be the thing.
But also his score is twice mine.
It might be higher, but you have a lower DC, so it's up to you guys.
So if I helped him with like having the blueprints and stuff, that he did a roll because he has the highest modifier, would it be my DC or would it be his DC?
If it's him doing it, it's his DC. If it's you doing it, it's yours. That's the decision that you have to make.
I'll give him the gun and I'll help him.
Okay. Then it's you, Jack, your Tinkerer's tools.
Normal roll or advantage?
Advantage.
Advantage.
So 21.
21.
Alright. You know you already examined this, I remember from before, which made your DC even lower. So, you know what's wrong with it, and you know how to fix it. So basically, the flame rune, which is on the firing mechanism, was a little bit faded and was non-functional as a result. You just recarve the flame rune on the firing mechanism, and you test it, and it makes a but it wasn't loaded.
Sure, no. The rune was faulty. The rune was faulty, it's not fixed.
Probably just because the gun is probably older than Uncle, so it's ancient.
Well, there's a blunderbuss, and yeah.
You guys are also aware, Jack wouldn't be, but everyone else would also be aware that during the initial Shadow Wall invasion, guns would malfunction when it got close. So this may be the cause of it, of these malfunctions. Perhaps the Shadow Wall somehow had an effect on these magical runes and caused them to
malfunction.
Yes.
So, what did I miss? Did we already break everyone out?
Yeah.
Everybody is now conscious. Zarascon, you look upon the group. There's a 6'11" human. There is average height tiefling. There is a about average height elf. She's slightly shorter. And a pretty big minotaur. However, the minotaur looks like you could easily beat him in an arm wrestling contest.
Yeah, especially now he's not well fed and such, and just
Yeah, but even
Motion
before, it looks like his speciality. He doesn't like the other people have their armor on still. He doesn't have armor. He
It's
just
a
has
mage.
cloth
And even though
robes.
his minotaur will probably also look skinnier, since he's
Mage,
more
he's a
minded than
nerd.
Yes. So I just motion him to the pile of food that I summoned and tell him, eat, don't let it go to waste.
They've been eating it. As soon as they woke up and realized that there was food there for them to eat, they've eaten it. Or started. You've technically summoned more food than what they can eat.
If they need it, then they need it, right?
Well, yeah, but they can't physically eat the amount of food that you've summoned.
they could try.
That's not a problem as long they're fed.
Yeah, because
Is
you've
there
summoned
anyone-
way more food than what they can possibly eat in one
So,
sitting.
as they're eating, Kazgu's going past the sus to see if he can find anyone else.
You looking in the other cells?
Mm-hmm. The other 50/50 other sus, except the one we already opened.
Alright, most of them are filled with skeletons. I'll just give you that information because there's no threats in this area. And some of them are also filled with other refugees. But since you're doing the investigating, he's gonna take 40 minutes to look in each of the rooms, just glance in, see if there's anything in there. So while you guys are waiting for him to come back.
Yeah, every refugee I find, I just, take whatever I can find, like a chalk or something I can mark the door with.
Okay, so I'll get you to roll a d50.
Just.
And if you
So
roll a
should
1,
roll-
re-roll.
So I'm all 13.
Alright, 13 rooms have refugees in them.
I just mark those 13, and then, after I mark them, I'm gonna
And it
yell
seems
for
like
Lily to come home.
it seems like they're relatively spread out among the doors.
So I just yell for Lily at the closest door.
Alright. Since she's not here, I'll just say that she was eager to help you before, she's eager to help you now. So,
Yeah, so we're gonna
we'll give you the
be
results
opening
of that
doors.
in a bit. We'll give you the results of that in a bit.
Okay.
So, you two are in the room with, because Zarascon just left without telling you guys what he was doing, and Lily seems to have left with him, I'll say. Just so that way I don't have to roleplay her as much. So you guys are in the room with, the gang. I don't know what to call them. Were they just... Did your gang have a name?
Preben?
Did your gang have a name? Can he hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm thinking.
Thinking. He's doing the big thing.
I don't know. Slumdogs? Yeah, Slumdogs.
Okay. So, you guys are in the... Jack, you are in the room with the slum dogs who are recently reunited. So, what do you guys want to do while you're waiting? Anything? You can have a conversation.
Yeah,
That's
why
something
would
you
I?
can do. I don't know. To get to know these NPCs that you don't know.
Well, one looks evil, one is damn huge, one is a damn weed smoker, and the last one is average basic human that's super tall.
Don't forget one looks very fluffy.
That is the one I thought I was tall as fuck.
Yeah, he's pretty
Hey,
big.
so fuck, I want to die.
Even for a minotaur, he's big. Or tall, I should say. Which they're still considered medium.
Yeah, it was like Goliath sized.
Yeah.
Which is the tallest medium race. Maybe a
Probably.
taller Cosborns.
Well, either way, so you guys are in this room. Do you just awkwardly stare at each other?
Well, I'm talking to the guy, but
Okay,
You know,
what
I
are you
know
saying?
him.
Direct with Matt then.
What do you
it's
want to...
literally just small talk.
Okay.
Well,
Are you telling them
never
of
know.
your adventures, or what? What are you telling them?
I would bring them up to speed on what's happening on the outside.
Alright. Jockey says, another head to punch.
Another
Head to punch.
lots of heads to punch. Lots. And I'm of course gonna bring them up to speed of my new job. You know, head of acquisitions and security at the New World Bank.
Madame sits there and looks over to Woolsey and says, looks like he's trying to take your job. And Woolsey goes, he couldn't.
Oh, don't worry, I'm not a bookie.
He has the intelligence, but he's not a bookie. I would assume Explode delivered the blunderbuss to Uncle.
Yeah.
Or else I would have done it if he forgot.
Alright. He just sort of holds it in his hands, checks the weight of it.
That was the rune. The rest is fine.
Yep, this is my old Betsy. And he just puts it on his back.
I would have given Jockey's sword and Woolsey's book and my uncle's sack.
Alright. They take their respective belongings. Woolsey goes, I didn't expect this to survive the flooding. Where did you find it?
I tell them about the air pocket.
Well, that was lucky.
Very lucky.
He puts it in, he has kind of like what Caleb has in the Critical Role series. He has the little underarm slings for books. And he just slides that book into one of his slings.
You mean a book holster?
Basically,
book
yes.
holster. Well, the
It's kind of
pen
good,
is
there's a
mightier
book.
than the sword.
And
I'll ask them if they know any of the layout. How did you get in here? Like, do you know anything at all? Is there a way out of here that doesn't conclude us? And I tell them about my little boo-boo that I made.
okay.
Oh yeah. Well, here's the thing. You made it inside of the maze. That means we can go around the giant boo-boo you made.
Yeah, but then again, we have to climb up the tube. And I'm kind of hoping that this place has another way out, since we basically came down here through a sewer grate.
Yeah, but
Okay.
There must be a door with a ladder.
here's
or
the problem.
something.
Here's the problem. We need to go up.
Yeah, but there has to be another way with a ladder.
But we're about 500 feet down, underground currently.
All of
not
this
more.
is true. However, while you guys are thinking about that, Woolsey, as Explo asks, Woolsey just sort of looks down. He looks almost ashamed, and he goes, "We were unconscious for most of it."
It's unfortunate. And then there's the matter of this, and I'll just pull out the one water-breathing amulet that I have left.
They look at each other.
Oh, there is a possibility to use two, and I'll just look at you, Jack.
Yeah.
If he wants to give it up. Take
Here's a better solution. The ones with the amulets all go out, then one goes back holding all the other amulets, brings them to them, carry them over constantly.
Yeah, but then again, we were kind of small discussing about hitting that bank we were here to hit before we leave.
Yeah, we're
Well,
not gonna hit that bank. That's too risky with
Explo
Mr. Big.
asked that to Jack. He would say, well, as long as we don't fight too much, I can handle without the amulet.
And I would guess if he gets charmed by that big ass mofo fish again, would he start breathing?
I wouldn't be incapacitated, I think.
Yeah, but you
Oh,
would
that is
still
fine.
like you wouldn't like have control of anything you're doing. You just stand there.
Here's
As
what
a
I'll
bird,
say. He perceives that he's still underwater when he's in that weird delusion, so under that technicality, he would act the same.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm fine as long as I'm not unconscious, basically.
If he perceived that he was on land when he wasn't, then maybe he would, but that's a different story. That isn't the delusion that the thing makes you see.
Hey, wait a minute. How many people are we now?
Well, there's 4 in that group, so it's 4 plus 4, which is 8.
Yeah, because I have... Where is it? Where is it? There we go. Harvard's handy haversack, which should be able to hold both me and Lily.
What is it?
It's one of the wondrous inventions that artificers get. It's basically a bag of holding, but it's smaller. It can't hold as much. And instead of making a pocket dimension with no, like, you're in space, it's actually filled with air. So you can survive for 10 minutes. If you go inside it, you have 10 minutes before you start suffocating, instead of just a few seconds.
Okay, so it's like a thing that people saw that the bag of holding, it wouldn't work for that. So then they made a one that it would, basically.
Like, just taking a bunch of livestock at the same time. It's not as big as the bag of holding, but it can hold up to... It can hold a very sufficient amount of stuff. So I know it will be able to hold both me and Lily at the same time.
Mm-hmm. You can try.
So that gives us actually 4 extra amulets. So
Does it
if
say, however, that the person who's inside is able to get out?
Yeah.
Okay, so they can leave whenever they wish.
Well, it doesn't say anything about that. It just say if you go into the bag, you have 10 minutes before you suffocate.
Which
So,
means that somebody has to get you out of it.
probably.
Because people can use it to trap people inside and then they stay in there for 10 minutes or whatever and then die. So,
I'll just...
as long as you trust your teammates enough to get you out, that would be the only thing. Because if the rest of your team is secretly evil and wants to kill you, that could be a thing that happens. Or if the bag just gets stolen.
Yeah.
And then the person who steals the bag doesn't realize you're in there, and then you just die. Which is a thing.
It's a backpack.
Yeah. There are people who want to steal backpacks. It's a thing. But anyway, I'll let you ponder that. I was going to roll something before that was brought up. Okay, you see Uncle. Seems like he wants to say something, but then stops himself.
What?
I forgot my jewel.
I give him the jewel.
He goes, "Oh, okay, never mind." And he just puts it in his bag. Although, I'll get you to roll an insight. Seems like he was going to tell you something about it, but since you just gave it to him, he sees no reason to tell you this piece of information anymore.
I'm gonna say something, but I'm forgotten the word.
I feel that. Because I was there a minute ago.
It's like, it's a word that you say you're getting too connected to something.
Obsession? Obsession or... Obsession or attached?
Yeah, there you go. Attached.
Okay. So what are you saying to him? Other than the word attached.
I just say attached, like you just stare at him.
Okay. He goes,
You don't know I'm not doing that.
he just goes, well, it's important.
Why?
He just looks at it. I'm gonna roll again. Yeah, unfortunately he's rolling too high. He just goes, it just is. And then he shoves it into his sack that you've given him.
What did you roll?
I'm rolling something that you don't know.
No, what check did you roll?
That's a thing that your character doesn't know. So I'm not going to tell you for now. You can try to argue with him, but...
There we go. If a breathing creature is placed within the harvest sack, the creature can survive up to 10 minutes, after which time it's beginning to suffocate.
Which would mean if there are 2, then it would automatically half. So it would be 5.
Yeah, but it still makes the same kind of pocket dimensions as the bag of holding. So me and Lily wouldn't be together. It would be
Yes,
in
but the
separate
bag in
pocket dimensions.
general has 10 minutes, is what it sounds like.
Oh, it says if a breathing creature.
Okay. That's fine. I'm fine with it being 10 minutes. It doesn't really matter.
How heavy would you say me and Lily would be?
Well, it depends on if Lily is wearing her armor or not. But you're both very small.
Because it doesn't kind of say what it can take in the...
Yeah,
okay.
it just the biggest problem.
Each side of the pockets, like it has two small pockets on its side, can take up to 20 pounds of material. The main pouch, like in the middle, can hold up to 8 cubic feet or 80 pounds of material.
80 cubic feet. That's a huge amount.
Not 80 cubic feet. 80 cubic feet. No, 8 cubic feet and up to 80 pounds of material.
Okay. How much does a set of armor weigh? This is one of the few instances.
Probably less than 80 pounds.
Which
Yes.
Though I do not know what 80 pounds is in kilos, because those...
30 something.
That's it?
Splint weighs 60, which is what she currently has equipped.
It's 36 kilos, 80 pounds.
36 kilos.
Yes, and what she is currently equipped with is 60 pounds.
So how much would we two weigh? Halfling and a gnome.
If she has that armor on, she weighs 60 plus her weight. So she would have to take her armor off. And if she took her armor off, then you both would fit.
Okay, so that is a possibility. That is a thing we can do. That is, put it out there for everybody to hear. Then we would have enough amulets for everybody to get out at the same time, but then again, we would only have, well, 2 people. I'll just say a regular breathing creature, 10 minutes. 2 breathing creatures, probably maximum 5 minutes.
And by the way, I'm not factoring in Lily's backpack.
Yeah, but I can put a bunch of her stuff in my bag of holding.
Because she's also carrying around chainmail. And she's carrying around...
Battle axe.
Yeah.
Doesn't she don't have a shield, right?
Let me see. I think she got rid of her shield. She did have one. But... what does she even have here? Apparently she put in her inventory that she has a bowl of delicious infinite soup.
That's true.
Did she get that from the genie?
Yes, I think. I don't know.
Probably.
Something at least.
It sounds like a genie object.
Well, if she has a bowl of infinite delicious soup, then why have you been wasting spells on summoning food?
She has been here when he's done it, so...
So if she could hold the bowl of infinite soup upside down, it would just keep pouring and
it's a
pouring.
bowl of infinite soup. How else am I supposed to interpret that?
You just have to check.
Yeah. So if the ball falls over
What
in
is
the room, what have you done? You've doomed us all.
What have we done? I don't see a problem back home anymore at the camp. I mean, the only worry we have is basically food. We have a bunch of farmers making food. Why don't we just go on top of a building or something and just make a waterfall of delicious soup for everybody to just come and get?
No. What if you tip over the ball, but you can't get it back up? It keeps going, fills up the room, you drown.
Yeah, well, that's why we do it outside. We make a river of delicious soup.
Yeah, that's just be careful with this power. Either way.
I'll have to put a limit on how much you can pour out at once.
The word infinite can't
Yes,
be
I know.
rejected.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as in, like, a rate at which it's produced. As in, it just doesn't and instantly fill up the world with soup.
Like,
But
we're
it would take
inside
care
and
of the
she's
shadow.
eating and she spells it over. No, you doomed us all!
Like a gallon per a certain amount of time, or something like that, is the limit that it's going to have on it. But otherwise,
like
it does produce it
Only
infinitely.
1 gallon a second.
It does produce it infinitely, but it produces it at a rate, is what I'm
It's like
gonna...
a decant of endless water.
This is what you're trying to fix, so you don't give us another broken-ass item.
I
can
don't
get broken.
remember giving it to her. It's the problem.
I'm pretty sure it was the genie. Now that you're mentioning it, I think it was like right after I joined.
She
And she
does
just asked
also
for-
have a portable bed, which you guys haven't been using.
Did you have a cloak
Yeah,
of many things?
what do you call a portable bed? Oh yeah, sleeping hole.
No, this is a portable bed. I remember making this item.
Is it king-sized?
Yeah, it's huge. It's a huge bed that has
Awesome.
an activation word that makes it big, but then also makes it pocket-sized.
Gosh.
Nani? What?
I don't have any cool items like that. Well, except the grower, which I've used it once. I've used it once now, and that was just to have a way to track where I was going in the insanity realm, pocket dimension.
Technically, you did use it to attack somebody a couple of times. But then you decided to not use it for whatever reason.
I think it was because I just tried to see what I could do with it.
Well, it's a short sword. It's a magical short sword. Otherwise, it's... it doesn't do anything special.
I haven't really been in the situation where I need to use it either.
That's true. So, what are you guys doing? You guys have some plans. You were in the middle of an argument with Uncle, but I didn't know if you wanted to just drop it or not. I think that's where we left off.
But I'll still just say that plan out loud about me and Lily going into that satchel, and we'll have 5 minutes before we suffocate and die a horrible death.
Okay.
But we will have enough amulets.
Or
So that
as
is one
you'll,
plan.
You'll continue to... You'll start suffocating, but what that means is you can hold your breath still. So, it's the 5 minutes plus however long you can hold your breath.
Which
That's
is
the
based
maximum.
on our constitution, right?
It's your constitution modifier in minutes plus 1.
Okay, so I have 3
Minimum
minutes.
of 1. So if you have a
So-
negative constitution modifier, then you have at least 1 minute.
So I'm guessing Lily has a higher constitution than me, which means I can hold my
Her
breath for 3
constitution
minutes.
her constitution is 12.
Oh, well, and then it's exactly the same. So 7 minutes.
So it's your constitution modifier plus 1. So yes, 7 minutes because it's plus 5.
We have 7 minutes.
7 minutes to win it.
Any other great ideas? I'll just look around in the room.
Alright, since you
Since
asked
I'm not
that
there,
question...
I can't give a great idea.
Yeah, you're not there. Okay, you see Uncle again thinking about something and decides not to say anything.
I'll ask him again. What is it, old man?
Nothing.
Bullshit is nothing.
Alright, since you say that, since he actually... No, wait, I rolled 14 before and said it didn't succeed. Okay, yeah. He's
I
still...
rolled a 19.
Well, I did roll a 14 in the past, is what I'm saying. Yeah, he's just like... Not sure how helpful it's gonna be, so... He just waves it off.
Well, do you really want to hold back a plan in this situation?
Okay, he finally rolled low enough. He goes, alright, fine. The bank we were gonna break into. It has items that could be useful to us. And he takes out the green gem. And he hands it to you, Explo. Just have a look.
Look at it.
Use the object. You know what it is. You identified it. It's a gem of greed.
Which is awesome.
It tells you... It gives you a picture of exactly what the treasure trove looks like. And it points you to the nearest treasure trove of the highest value. So you can use it.
You have to get to the bank, but how does he know what items are in the vaults?
He's telling you to use the object.
I use the object.
Alright, you activate the object, you focus in on it, and you see the treasure trove. It's filled with just random junk. Nothing looks valuable in it. And it also gives you the directions of how to get there. It's on the side of the city that was supposed to have water on it.
Okay. So your plan is to use a bunch of knickknacks
The gem
against the
of greed
horrors?
isn't broken. Those things are valuable, whatever they are. And it's showing me this for a reason. I assume the bank also has money in it, which is how I enticed you all into doing this job.
How are you talking?
Just headbutt the guy.
Too short.
Yeah, I am.
he can knee button.
Well, I can't activate
Big
my rocket
bucket,
boots to
yeah.
do it.
Basically, you have a feeling that Uncle was just trying to play off that his ability to find big scores was just him, rather than the gem. And that was the reason why he was super hesitant to tell you about this.
Fool.
But either way, the gem is showing you just a pile of junk. Like, none of it looks useful, even. There's, like, boards. Like, wooden boards. There's, like, hammers and nails. just sort of laying on the floor. It just looks like a bunch of junk. A lot of it looks rusty or worn down as well.
Can I make an arcana through the stone to see if it might just be illusion magic?
You can.
Make it look like crap.
You can, but since it's like you're viewing it through a magical object, it's showing you purposefully what it wants you to see, so the DC is going to be higher. But you can still try. Alright, it looks like it's showing you what it is perceiving. It doesn't look like it's an illusion, at least to it. You're not sure if it can see through illusions. It's basically when you identify an object, it doesn't give you if this, then this on it. It just tells you what it does. So you know what it does. It shows you the nearest treasure trove of the highest value. So it doesn't like show you. Actually, I think the way I originally described it to make it a little easier, it's the biggest treasure trove that is existing on the plane on which you are dwelling when you use it. So this is the biggest treasure trove, and it appears to be in that bank, and the treasure trove appears to be this pile of objects.
I'd say it would be worth to take a look. We're gonna need more amulets. On to Serscon. I've used too much time. I
Okay.
usually like to use.
Okay. Yeah, Zerscon, they've been discussing what they're planning on doing next, so I'll say that they're discussing that still. So Zerscon, I'm gonna get you to roll a D100.
D100. I already rolled D50.
I'm telling you what to roll. Do it.
Okay, D100.
It's for something else. Alright, you rescue 61 people.
Yeah, now we only need 64 more amulets.
Stop rolling.
Idiot.
Well, I'm not gonna abandon them.
And how are we gonna get them to the safe place, dude? My boat is literally on almost maximum capacity.
One thing we have, the lag wagon. Just go walking. And we have even a bowl of soup, so Lily can feed them now all. So they're at least fed.
She just starts pouring soup into their mouths with an item that you've never seen before, Zerscon.
Like, he just looks at it and says, handy.
She goes, I can only produce a gallon a minute.
Well, don't drown him. Anyone that wants something more solid, follow me. Soup is handy, but if you want something more solid, then, well, follow him to the pile of food he summoned.
Everyone is just waiting in line in front of the magical bowl of soup.
It's magical.
So I just gonna take some more solid food with me, then just put it down beside Lily for if some of them want.
So, X-Flow, you see Zeriscon come back into the room to pick up some of the food he summoned.
You hungry there, old pal?
Oh, just feeding some hungry mouths. 61 of them.
Some of them are water-dwelling creatures. Or at least creatures that can survive in water. So, you don't
Send
need...
them out to get amulets.
You could. Like, there's some Sahagin. There are some merfolk. There are some weird fish-like creatures that have lungs. As well. That are, instead of merfolk, which have the top half humanoid and the bottom half fish, they have the top half fish and the bottom half humanoid. Zerascon, you're the only person who has a chance here of identifying these creatures.
They're -1 in nature. So, quote unquote, chance.
It's
So
higher
you
than
need to
everybody
check-
else has.
Seriously?
Oh.
I
Nope.
mean, it's a higher chance than everybody else has because they can't roll.
That might be true. But like everyone's smarter than him.
Or
4? No. You've seen them before, but you don't know what they are. Like, they don't even have hands. They have, like, flippers.
I also, beside the food, I also take the 30 gallons of water I take with. So if they want fresh water instead of, well, soup water.
Alright, we'll say that the remainder of your food is consumed, and the remainder of your water is also consumed.
Yeah, so then I go back to the room where they're discussing and then just say, so what's the escape plan for about 61 people, well, 66 people excluding us. Yeah, 66, I count Expo's gang with that number.
I guess we'll just look at Jack.
Yeah.
Got any bright ideas?
You have read storybooks before, so you know how these adventures are supposed to go.
With the heroes always surviving.
Yes,
And
exactly.
the people they save also always survive.
The protagonists are usually the ones that are turning out okay. Whether or not they're good people or not depends on the book.
I don't have any ideas, no.
Yeah, he didn't read very many books about underwater places, unfortunately.
Why would I? It's boring.
Okay, hold
It's
on.
fish. And whales.
So, let me see, where is it? Here it is. So, this is about how the city looks, right, Matt?
What? I don't know.
This.
Oh, yeah. Well, kind of, yeah. Kind
We
of.
are in, like, this sections for example's sake.
Yeah, you're underground.
So Sarah's gonna just sketch that out, so we are right here right now. So I will actually draw a dot in it. Right here.
Dude.
How are we gonna get there without actually going upwards here, but more like this way?
So he's asking if there's an alternate path.
You're asking us?
Yes.
Including Explo's gang.
Well, I already rolled for them, so Woolsey says, we were unconscious for most of our path here.
That doesn't matter. Spells, magic, whatever you can think of.
Well, I don't have a teleportation spell. He looks over to Madame. What are you looking at me for? And then Woolsey just shrugs. It appears that nobody has a teleportation spell, so they can look in the repertoire if you have another idea, but that's the spell that they would be familiar with that would get somebody to a different location.
I say we go talk to the locals. Maybe they know something.
It's true, you do have 61 chances.
That also have been down here, so let me ask your friends then. Any, digging magic, for example's sake?
He thinks. Woolsey thinks for a minute. Well, do you have a druid among you?
No.
He goes, well, none of us are druids. So, unless we don't really have nature-based magic. Madame is a sorcerer, and I'm a wizard.
Wizards.
As well, bank robbing crew, from what I heard from Explo.
Yeah, he's the one who usually does the digging. And he puts it very clearly in quotes.
Violent digging. Explo just laughs at.
Yeah, now we want more subtle digging. Like, if you want to have subtle digging, then you use magic for that. So I was at least expecting one or two, or just at least, two, or for the very least one magical dig spell. But sure, we don't have that. Okay. That's kind of a problem.
Woolsey says, I heard of a spell that shapes stone, but I don't have it.
Okay, let me think. Can you at least make a tunnel? Oh, who did we lose?
BRB.
Oh, Olaf. So, what can we do for, let's say, the water? We need a fairly big ice tunnel to get through that.
Ice tunnel. He thinks for a minute. He only has to a certain level of spell available to him. So I'm gonna check if he has this particular spell.
It's an example, so
yes,
doesn't need to be.
It's not the exact spell that he's thinking of, but
it can be a wall of earth or wall of fire. Both wall of fire. Wall of.
Technically, wall of fire would work underwater, but it would just make bubbles in the water.
And steam and boil it and all that.
Yeah, it wouldn't really move it in the way that you're indicating.
Yeah, and you can't walk on the wall of fire as well.
That's true. I think I went past it. Oh, I don't see the spell here.
Oh. Okay.
That I was thinking of. I don't know. I guess I just don't know what the name of the spell is then.
Wall of Ice.
No. That isn't what he was thinking of. It's a spell that allows you to like redirect flow of water and part water.
Control.
Is it control?
Control what? Yes.
I thought it was shape water, so I was looking in the wrong spot.
I'm just gonna double check it for you. Yeah, it's control water.
Okay, what level spell is that?
4th.
Okay, he doesn't have it.
There's also a cantrip spell, shape water.
Where is that? Because that was in the section that I was at. But
Uh,
I didn't see it.
Centaur's Guide.
Oh,
But,
it's at the
again, that
base.
is also a more of a druid spell.
Yeah. So he
sorcerers
says,
and wizards also can get it.
Yeah, but why would they?
either
Well,
way,
it can be a very handy utility spell.
I'm
Either
gonna
way.
roll
We're
something.
thieves and beggars, dude. We don't do nature crap.
Okay, I'm gonna roll
Coin
something.
on the side.
So he goes, I could potentially make a tunnel of ice, but it would take quite a while.
Well, seems
And
like we've all
he
the
shows
time.
you, he moves his hands around, and he just sort of kamehamehas a little beam of ice out towards the wall.
Well, we have time on our hand, but I don't think we have weeks.
By the way, he cast Ray of Frost.
Let me think. Okay, if we can't go straight up, how about we go in a more diagonal way?
Well, what are you thinking?
Well, we do climb up, but we stay under the surface, so to say, and make our way as close as possible to the edge of the city. Then, well, use whoever can breathe to get out of the city. And then the ones that need amulets, well, we take the ones that can already have them, take them from them. One goes back, gives the amulet they are carrying with them to the people that need them, and then, well, repeat the process.
Well, that could work. It will take a long time for the sizable amount of people that you just rescued.
I think far less than, well, just going first vertical
Roll me a
and
d20.
then
By the way.
D20, okay.
Yeah. Only 6 of them are able to breathe underwater.
Oh,
Take a long while. But it would be far less long than just first going horizontal to the edge of the city on our same plane, then make an ice tunnel, then dig into the ground, then go straight up to be outside of the city and be able to leave.
Either way, if I've learned anything from Explo, it's that planning should only take so long. Blowing things up should take most of the time. So what are we doing?
Well, are you able to fight?
Woolsey pats his account book, and he says, I have a few spare spells copied into this. And Madame is like, I'm a sorceress. What do you take me for? I have my weapons with me. And Jockey goes, I have sword. Hit! And Uncle goes, yeah, I'm good at sneaking. Though I would do better if I had something sharp and pointy.
How sharp and how long?
Something light.
Dagger-sized
handle.
sword.
Not like that. And he points to Jockey, who has a great sword in his hands.
Dagger size, short sword size.
Just not that. And he points to the great sword again.
At least not that, no, it's literally dagger size. I know what the dagger is. He pulls just a dagger out the woman's belt.
He's
Dagger.
going to try to take it from you with sleight of hand while you're trying to explain it to him. Let's see what happens.
I literally just pull it out and just show it, so...
Yeah, you're
That's a
but
hard
you're looking
thing to
at him
do.
as you're talking to him. You're not looking at the dagger, right? So he's going to
Well-
try to take that opportunity to... Alright, roll a perception.
That was a bad roll.
Yeah.
Come on. Oh. Clicked. I keep
Oh,
getting
you
that
failed.
on.
You did
Yes.
fail.
I
So,
said that.
and you see him like twirling it around in his fingers. As you're like,
Yes.
I said, it looks like this. What? And he already has it in his hand.
You are giving that back. That's my dagger.
That's fine. Look, I'm not in a position to argue. I just want to be helpful.
Well, I'm gonna go and talk to the locals, Explo says. And Uncle, look what I made while I was gone. I just tap my feet together and activate my rocket boots. And I'll zoom
just
in to
because
where
you-
the...
Just because of this, I'm gonna get you to roll a d20. Something funny might happen. Because you're like, hey, look at this! Yeah,
But I
exactly.
didn't
Do I have
see
anything?
anything.
Yeah, I'm just gonna roll straight charisma. As a d20.
You sort of just ram into the door because it's not open or anything. So you just ram into the side of the door where you didn't see that it was open. And he goes, that's useful. It seems like he's genuinely impressed, but you rammed into a wall, so he's definitely repressing a laugh track.
Trickle. Yeah.
Oh, he would have laughed. Same
Yeah.
with the other ones.
So, Kaz asks,
He's trying to be proud of you, though. He does realize that you're younger than him.
So he just looks at them. Do you also know Fuzzy?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
must have. Because I had him when I woke up in the forest after everything went down.
Yeah. They go,
Okay,
yeah.
that's good.
Pretty
good to know.
useful for keeping people away from entering a building that you're trying to rob. Because, as they were tactically planning things, a bear is an intimidating thing to have standing outside a door.
Mhm.
So random
Well-
civilians don't enter and try to get you guys in trouble.
I will see who, well, the civilian people can help out in combat, but I will try and keep them out.
Just as a
Only-
question, how long would it take for me to make another one if Fussy gets destroyed?
I'm
it
pretty
would
sure it
say-
says on your character class
Let
description.
me see that for you.
Because it gives a money amount and everything, so I assume it gives a time amount too. But if you were to make another one, Fuzzy would be deactivated. So it's only if he's
Yeah.
destroyed that you really want to make another one. Otherwise, you could make an army, and that would be slightly overpowered.
Oof.
Otherwise, what?
You could make an army, and that would be overpowered.
Yeah, I know I can only make one at a time.
It takes a week to completely make one and over 1k in gold of
Yeah,
materials.
so basically it's on your off time, when you're not, like, killing things, you spend the week building it like you would anything else.
So 1 week and 1,000 goals.
Mhm.
That's
work
actually
in
doable.
materials.
Yeah, but that's actually doable.
Yeah, you have tons of money. So.
Yeah, because I think I found my favorite creature to make into this kind of thing.
Yeah, well, if you want to make another one, you can. Or, like I allowed for DT, you can simply modify the one that you already have and it would take less time into a different creature.
Oh, okay. So I'm probably gonna be doing that.
Yeah, it's just literally spreading out old stats over to new stats.
It takes a little bit of time, but you're allowed to switch them.
What's a little bit of time?
Less than a week. Your character isn't sure. It depends on how successful you are at the rolls.
Yeah. So, as I said, Kaan's just going along the local populace to ask about who is a capable fighter or magic
Okay,
caster.
since there's 61 of them, I'm going to shorten it and not roleplay each and every individual.
Mhm.
What?
So, you guys can roll an investigation. Anybody who wants to interview the populace for any reason. And if it's more than one person, then you can help. You can use the help action instead. If you want
what's
to
your
boost someone
investigation?
else's.
Mine is 2. His is like 20.
Mine is only a mere +9.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say I'm trying to help with my -1 in the investigation because I have a -1 in intelligence.
Well, the way that I play it is if it's the second number in your advantage, it's because of the person's help that you succeeded. But if it's the first one, then it's mostly they tried to help, but the other person is the reason it succeeded. So it's equally likely that your help is the reason why.
He might not be smart. Kaan might not be smart, but he's a tactical. He knows tactics very well.
Yeah. However, you do interview some of the people. It's just that the people that you interview don't seem to be helpful. However, Explo does find one person who appears to be possibly helpful. However, this person doesn't speak common.
Do they speak?
What does it speak? I'll try Gnomish and Thieves' Cant.
It doesn't
Well,
understand. It doesn't understand you, Explo. You tried the other
Not
ones and
even-
it doesn't understand you.
Not even
But the
Thieves' Cant.
reason why you suspect it might be helpful is because it has a large book with it. And it's one of those fish people that doesn't have hands.
I'm just gonna stand in the middle and just look around. Can anybody be a translator?
One of the
No.
Sahagins comes over. Yes. What translation do you need?
Just point to the guy.
And he starts talking in a very fish, watery sounding language. And
One.
yeah. Technically, Jack can understand it, some of the words, but he's from the plane of air, so it's sort of like they're speaking in slang that he just can't catch everything. But they do communicate for a moment, because some of the words sound like they piled up a bunch of saliva in their mouth and they're like spitting at each other, but no spit is coming out. So it's a very guttural, naturalistic language. Very hard to understand unless if you study the language. The fish person eventually, after a little bit of them talking, because I'll just say that you're asking, like, can you use magic, that sort of thing. The fish person just sort of glances over to where his book is, and it just sort of floats up into the air in front of him, and it flips to a different page on the book, and he just sort of mouths some incantation words in Aquan. And
I know Aquan.
you know Aquan?
I know Primordial. That's all the elemental languages.
Yes, it is. So you do technically understand him.
Oh, so he could have been our translator.
Mhm.
But he's
Yeah,
technically
but,
not there, so you would
What?
have had to have gone and asked him. But anyway, it doesn't matter. And he just sort of points his fins forward, and a bunch of water just spills into the room.
Okay, that can be fairly useful. But do tell him that, well, we'll try to keep him out of fights only, well, using capabilities if it's really needed, unless he really wants to get involved in fights. That
The
is,
Sahagin goes, "What spell do you need him to cast?"
if it's a fight, well, whatever combat abilities he has, well, to use that.
Big ass air
Otherwise-
pocket would be nice.
Well, yes, that.
Let's see what he has in his repertoire. Mm. That's not a good sign.
Yeah.
He can shape water, but not in a large enough space that that would be useful to you guys.
I explain the two options we have. Like, we don't want to go straight up, because then we have problem with a big beast. We can go the long way around, that's like just going horizontal, then through water, walled and straight up,
Okay,
or
the Sahagin,
all that.
while he's translating for you, the fish person just stops him from translating and tries to stop you from talking. To interrupt you. Do you allow it?
Yeah, allow it, because if he has a different kind of input that could be useful.
Okay, he says, I'll just translate through the translator.
Yeah.
He goes,
I'm nice enough to do that.
so he goes, "I know which creature you speak. At least I think I do."
Okay, let me then describe it a bit more. A really big one makes people, well, throws people into a trance.
Yes, that is the royal beast from the plane of water.
Wait,
We call it Slushta. Sluchtaa.
SLUCH.
CH. Yeah. TAA.
STAA. So we don't want to harm it. Okay, that's worrisome.
The enemy appears to be using it against us. I would not wish to tell you how to do your tactics, since you seem to be our saviors, but it would be useful if we could regain its control.
To put it bluntly, the only way that I've seen work so far is to literally, well, attack the being until it goes down, and then once it recovers, it, well, is in full control once more.
He asks, "Was it covered in shadow?"
Was it?
No, it was translucent. You have a feeling if it was covered in shadow, it would at least be translucent purple. Because other
At
creatures
least
you've
not.
seen that have like invisibility abilities or are slightly invisible, They turn into this like purplish hue when they're taken.
Well, I was of course underwater, so that might have been washed out of the color, but I don't think so.
As I suspected, they have taken control of it. They know its command words. And the way that he's describing this creature, it seems like it's a creature, but it's trained. It's not like a construct or anything.
So Khan just leans a bit back and says, "You seem to know an awful lot about this Shrusta. Did you train it or command it before?"
Our kind comes from the plane of water. We come here to visit, trade, and get things that we normally cannot.
I assume that as a yes then. Oh, Olaf is back.
I DC'd for a second. Sorry.
No problem.
The reason this creature is here is because it probably went through a portal with our ruler just before the cataclysmic events happened. So he seems to be indicating that the ruler of the plane known as the plane of water came here to do his business, whatever it was, and this is his royal steed.
Okay. Do you know of any object that you could sketch out for me that the royalty might have in his possession or on his person right now?
He seems to be contemplating. Although, like, his from his upper torso to the top of his head just looks like a tuna. This guy that you're talking to, by the way. The bottom half of him looks humanoid. So he just looks like a large tuna with flappy arms. It's a very strange experience. But he does seem to be... He does, like, use his little fin to scratch the bottom of his fish-like face. So I'll get him to roll to see if he can remember anything useful. He does.
Ooh, 22.
Let me see. It might be helpful for me to look up what the leaders of the plane of water look like. I wasn't planning on actually getting this far yet, but that's okay.
Yeah, not that we're going immediately for rescues, more like for temporary, just for your royalty rescue, and then, well, get the fuck out of the bubble. Yeah, and I got to stop in about 8 minutes.
Okay.
Because parents.
Yeah, it's called the Sea of Worlds, which is where this particular person you're talking to is from, which is the main water. It's just a huge ocean that makes up the plane of water.
With a few tiny islands in there as well.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's the Isle of... Let me see. Yeah, the way that they would have traveled here is by this particular person. This particular person would have gotten here by the Isle of Dread, which is surrounded by a storm, and it has portals onto the material plane. And there's a bunch of ships that went through portals and ended up there and just landed in the middle of the island. Crash landing. So it's full, that's why they call it the Isle of Dread, because there's a bunch of dead things there due to the sudden crashing. Let me see. Based on this map, let me just see if I can look this up. Elemental. Whoops, I typed the wrong thing. There we go. Oh, here it is. No, this isn't the right thing that I'm looking for. Nope. God. Inhabitants. This might be able to get me where I'm looking. Yeah, it just looks like... it just looks like it's ruled by... These don't have the elemental giants like the plane of air does.
I think in Kraken or Tablet, I don't know.
Let me see what this is. Okay, so the people who would be ruling here would be the, what are they called? The Mariads.
The what?
Mariads.
Spell.
They're the water djinn.
The water djinn.
They're called Mariads. M-A-R-I-D-S.
M-A-R-I-D.
Yeah, the Marid.
And
and their plural is S. So Marids.
Yes. So let me just throw an image of that into the Discord.
Whereas the plane of air has elemental giants that rule it. This place is just ruled by the Marids.
So those guys that I just uploaded to the Discord.
They can have more humanoid-looking appearances, or they can look more like fish.
Does say so, but this is the image that I get from World Wide.
Because in first edition they just look like Arabic people, but in 5e they look like fish people.
Yeah, the only thing that they can't do is grant wishes.
Yes.
Interesting.
So they're basically the elementals of water. They're not as stringent towards destroying chaos because they are chaotic themselves. Just like the waves, the currents and waves can be unpredictable, they are just as unpredictable. So, when you're dealing with one, their moods can very easily just shift. They're kind of like bipolar people. 1 second they'll be angry at you for seemingly the slightest transgression, and then suddenly they'll just be like, oh, forget about that. Let's move on to this other thing.
Like, it never happened.
Yeah. So,
I got to go past 2 o'clock.
I'm just gonna end off here. The ruler has a large necklace which he treasures. It's the necklace of rulership on the plane of air.
Water.
You're not sure if it's only symbolic or if it's actually got some sort of magical inclination. But it's just a big... It looks like... I think Flava Flav was the one with the clock. It just looks like a big medallion that's obtusely large on the guy's body.
That's the thing we can track now.
So yeah, he's a male leader, of course. But he looks very fish-like. And they can control water, and if you get on their bad side, they usually just put you in a sphere of water and wait until you drown. So, yeah, they're not fun times. So,
not fun times.
So that is where we're going to end off. I'll come up with a name